Jesus, Murphy. Markeog writes, is there a need for a pianist to build up endurance, or is it purely a case of being superbly organized when it comes to avoiding fatigue? I'm thinking of pieces such as Chopin etudes where the need for endurance is often taken for granted and seems obvious to many because of the relentless figurations or passage work. This is a brilliant question. The answer is yes and no. When you're developing your technique, you will discover that there are many muscle groups which are vastly underutilized. And when you learn how to use those muscle groups well, you will feel like you're bodybuilding. What I demonstrated a little while ago, this thing here, for instance, or a little later on. Okay, this is not passage work, but I am trying to produce a certain sonority. And just that, I have to set my hand up in such a way that all my triceps and biceps are working overtime. I feel tremendous amounts of energy and effort coming from in here. All sorts of muscles are waking up. Also, my hand, I have to fold my hand over this way more in order to get the thumb into right relation to the rest of the hand. All these muscles around the thumb are working way, way more than I was taught. Also, this first dorsal interosseous is working overtime. So just to stand my hand, I feel effort. It's like, listen, if you stand up like this, you're not going to tell me that you don't feel any effort in your legs when you stand up. Even if you stand up very quickly, it's automatic, you don't think about it. But if you try to do this with just superb skeletal organization, okay, I'm skeletally really well organized, and now if I don't push, I won't stand up. So the type of endurance that leads to pain or fatigue, or just so much fatigue or pain that you actually can't get to the end of the piece, most of that is from lousy skeletal organization. So you do need, as you say, being superbly organized at the skeletal level, but that's not all. Because the skeleton, as it turns out, it is moved elastically by the whole muscular system. So once you've got it superbly set up, that you then have to move it, and for that you do need muscular effort. Now elastic, for instance, if I pull my finger back and then zap it into the key like this, then that I'm actually getting some free energy, because when I pull the finger back like here, this muscle is actually loaded elastically, and now it's not just the lumbrical interosseous contracting, which is a lot of work, it's the lumbrical interosseous getting let go from its elastically stretched position. So a lot of, when we have fast passive work, a lot of it is free energy provided by loading a muscle elastically and then letting it go. So when you learn to do that, you will experience more fatigue, for instance, in the extensors here, which pull the finger back in order to load the lumbrical interosseous elastically. So, but if you get used to that, you'll find it's not a fatigue that leads to pain. It's a fatigue that leads to this wonderful sense of action, activity, and prowess. So you will need to build up endurance, but be careful about how you think about this, because most of the time the endurance you want to build up is the wrong kind, and that's just slogging. And this endurance, it's mind over matter. It's more mental endurance. It's mental endurance that, for instance, to keep some sort of new hand organization. And for instance, see, in order to do that, I'm stretching my second finger. My second finger is not even playing, but look at my second finger. You see, my second is straining leaning up into this curved thing. When I do that, then something lets go in my arm. But then, also, my biceps is doing this constantly to avoid my slamming down into these notes. So my biceps is constantly, it's constantly pulling the forearm back. My biceps is constantly pulling the forearm back. So my biceps gets tired very quickly when I'm not used to this, when I've never done it before, and then I realize, oh my God, that's the only way to make the thing work. And so I need to build up a completely new kind of endurance. When the forearm enters the key, it's the triceps contracting that that has the forearm go down. Yeah, so the triceps contraction, it's actually the triceps and biceps are elastically bouncing off each other. They're elastically loading each other and then letting the thing go. And so, and in here, the hand has this elastic relationship where the fingers, of course, at speed, the fingers can't actually be trying to come together, as I showed in the film, but there's an elastic tension, which is not tension. Elastic tension is moving tension. Tension that holds is not elastic. Elastic tension is a kind of a high tonus thing where there's actual elasticity in the hand itself. So I should do that again. Goes. See how hard I'm trying to actually move the hand. So in all this kind of stuff, there's tremendous power in the hand, elastic power. The hand is constantly trying to renew itself and move and to stay elastic and not to degenerate into stiffness. You hear how ugly it is and how awful it feels by comparison. But you see, this kind of elasticizing the hand in slow motion like that trains the reflexes to keep that kind of intention going at the quicker speed. So you see, that's the mental stamina. Because it takes a lot of mental power to keep saying to the reflexes, come on, come on, come on, stay alive, stay elastic, keep moving me. Don't let me, degenerate into this kind of inert, oh, I'll just let the weight of my arm do it. Okay?